Hello, everybody. We're back again with Big Brother. We're on season 24, episode 6. Last time we had Jasmine winning the HOH while also twisting her ankle. And she decided, before she even chose to put anyone up on the block, she was already targeting Pooch to put him up on the block because she's part of the all girls alliance, which is not all the girls, but it's most of the girls, excluding two, which is Taylor and can't remember the other girl's name at the moment. But they formed that all girls alliance, and one of their main targets was Pooch because Amira wanted to get rid of Pooch. And it seems at the moment that Amira is leading the All Girls Alliance. Before it was started by Polina, something like that. Well, it seemed like she was leading it, but Amira is definitely a strong personality and she's very good in competitions. And it seems like she was being sneaky the whole time. And she seems to be the one leading it. But before Jasmine get to choose who was going to go up, for some reason, Pooch decided to volunteer himself for the block because he felt comfortable and he thought it would add to his resume. This is the thing that happened. Pooch, just like the girls, formed an all guys alliance, excluding two guys. The two guys that are excluded is the two super fans, which is Daniel and Michael. Michael is very good at competitions. He won Veto before, and Daniel won the first HOH. Not good options to exclude out of the alliance, but they wouldn't have joined the alliance anyways because they seem to be offended by masculinity. I don't know why, but it's the popular thing nowadays. People don't like masculine men, so it is what it is. You know, hatred comes in all forms, and sometimes people that play victim are also hateful assholes. Anyways, he formed the All Guys Alliance, and two of the guys in that alliance are also in another alliance, which is Poe's Pack, which is the alliance that Polina tried to form, but she eventually left the house. So she was replaced by the other lady that was not part of the All Girls Alliance. Can't remember her name. But the two guys that are not, that are also in the Pose Pack Alliance, that are also in the All Guys Alliance, is Monty and Kyle. So for some reason, Pooch felt comfortable, so he decided to volunteer for the block. Now he's on the block. And funny enough, Taylor also felt comfortable because she thought she had a good relationship with Jasmine, and she also volunteered herself for the block. So they both are now on the block. Both volunteered, both on the block. Taylor eventually started to get paranoid that the girls are lying to her and that she might be voted out. Pooch, on the other hand, never got paranoid that they might be voting him out. I don't know why, because he was volunteering on the block to backdoor Taylor, and then Taylor was put on the block, which already tipped him off that it's not going his way, but it does not. So Pooch is now on the block and Taylor's on the block, all right? That is what it looks like at the moment. The girls are lying to their teeth. They're telling Taylor she's fine, but really their main target is Pooch, but they're also okay with Taylor going home if Pooch is safe, and he wins the veto. All right. So just a whole lot of lies going around, and just no one really could trust each other. The person sitting the most comfortable at the moment, I would have to say, is Kyle. Kyle here, no one is targeting, and people are bringing him into alliances. No one's looking at Kyle. Kyle's a big dude. No one's offended by his masculinity. No one is targeting him. Great gameplay. Gotta like it. But Michael is a beast. Michael is a beast. I gotta admit that. And he's also a certified genius. But he's a very obvious target. But because his lack of masculinity, no one is targeting him. Funny how that works. For some reason, they are threatened by masculinity, but yet when people are obviously good at things and they're very competent and they can beat them, for some reason their blinders are on because that person is not masculine enough. But yet they're threatened by people like Pooch, who's half the size of Michael. And Pooch hasn't won anything, and he's not good socially like Michael. But Pooch is masculine, so, you know, it is what it is. Pooch's #1 ally is, in fact, Joseph. Joseph right here. Joseph is actually rather smart in this game, but he's just allying with the wrong people. Pooch is too dumb. He's a certified idiot. Shouldn't align with him, and he's too bold and stupid. That is a bad combination. If you're just stupid, you can go along with stuff. But if you're bold and stupid, you start making decisions, and that is where we get Pooch. And that's why he's on the block, because he volunteered to be on the block because his boldness and the stupidity combined to create the ultimate power of retardedness. All right, so Pooch is on the block. All right, time to play Veto, the Veto competition. And Michael gets chosen for Veto. Michael, who crushed the last Veto competition, gets chosen for Veto. Already, everyone should be nervous, but hey, no one cares. No one cares. Pooch is worried about Taylor winning. Taylor is worried about Pooch winning because she also has a good friendship with Michael, but they all should be worried about Michael winning. All right. But nope, not yet. Not yet. Right now, Michael is useful. Michael is not a masculine man, not the enemy. But he's also in pretty good alliances, so he's safe either way. So they can't even target him even if they want to. You can see over here, you can see Taylor talking to Michael. He's talking about, you know, her taking him off the block, him taking her off the block. And he's like, he doesn't know if he can use it. Obviously, he's not going to use it. If he has the power, he's not going to use it because most of the people in his alliance wouldn't want him to use it. And 3 of the strongest girls in the All Girls Alliance are also in his alliance. They wouldn't allow him to do that. So, you know, but he's thinking about using it, even though it's never going to work out that way. Yet he's entertaining the thought. I think he's thinking of manipulating people in order to get him to use the veto by putting up a bigger threat on the block, i.e. one of the other guys. Taylor is thinking Michael can help her, and she's thinking that if it comes down to her and him, then he'll throw the competition to her because that's what he said he would do. So they go to the veto competition. Oh God, it is rather ridiculous. See right here, there's going to be this pearl that they have to toss around, and they're going to be crawling around with these slippers on their legs, and they can't touch the pearl with their hands. They have to use their head in order to move the pearl, well, a ball, but they call it a pearl. And then when they get to the end, they then have to shoot the ball into these little bowling holes using just their heads. All right, so that is the competition right there. right off the bat, everyone is struggling through this. As they get to the end, they're tossing around so many of those little beads that they're swimming in that it affects the ball at the end. You can see, you can see the Jasmine over here sitting with a broken ankle. I mean, this chick came in this competition, won HOH, and just been sitting around ever since. I mean, she would have been sitting around regardless, but now she has a valid reason to be sitting around. You see, every time they get over the little hump, they're just splashing their arms around so much that they're tossing those little beads all over the place. And it's going to get into the area where they're going to be rolling the ball to the end to score, which is bad because it affects the trajectory of their shots. As you can see right here, this is the first shot, and the first one to make a shot is Pooch. And you see the lane is relatively clear, but he still tossed a bunch of them stuff all over the place. As soon as they get a couple balls in there, they're gonna freaking splatter all that stuff all over the lane, and it's just gonna affect the shot. Every time they make a shot, it's gonna bounce off the little pebbles and just go off course. So it's just not a good game plan. Michael was the only one to figure out that that's a problem. He started wiping away those little things out of the way. All right. Michael was trying to throw the competition. He only started making shots when he thought Pooch was going to win. Pooch got the most balls, more than anybody else. He went up and down that trail more than anyone else. You can see he's already got 2. And I think only one other person had made a shot besides him. And he's just stacking them up here because he's not making shots. Look at how many beads are in his way. Like he can't make any shots. And that's just his second shot. The first shot, relatively clear. Second shot, freaking splattering beads all over the place because he's moving too fast. All right, so he's not going to be winning anything doing that. All right, let's just skip to the end. In the end, it came down to Michael and Taylor. Taylor had 2 shots in. Michael had 2 shots in, and he tried to throw it to Taylor, but she didn't make the shot, so he just made the shot in the end, and he won his second veto, and it's the second veto competition. Right, so he won the veto, and Pooch wasn't worried. He wasn't concerned at all. Him and Taylor were playing mind games with each other where they were both pretending to be nervous and they don't know what's going to happen, and they're hoping that Michael used the veto on them and they don't know if he's going to use it. So they're playing this act up to each other because they both, not knowing that the other person also volunteered to be a pawn. So Taylor thinks she's a pawn, and Pooch thinks he's a pawn. Pooch was the first to volunteer as a pawn, but he was the dumbest pawn because he was the initial target even without volunteering as a pawn. Taylor was a dumb pawn because even though she wasn't the initial target, she was in fact another option for them to send home. So it was not a smart thing. So you got these 2 idiots trying to now trick each other. All right. Pooch seems to be not very socially aware, and Taylor very not socially aware. So yeah, they're pretty dumb socially, and they're trying to trick each other. All right. Joseph, who is the closest ally to Pooch, is giving Pooch advice, and he's telling Pooch he needs to stop being so comfortable. He's telling Pooch right there that he needs to stop being so comfortable, and he needs to try to get Michael to use the veto on him. Pooch says, yeah. And then as soon as Joseph leaves the room, he calls Joseph an idiot. He said, I love that kid, but he's an idiot. And I am just mind blown. Joseph is way smarter than this damn fool, and he thinks he's an idiot after he's given him good advice. Then Michael go into the room full of masculinity haters, and he's pitching to them. You see all the girls, and I think Daniel is over there as well. He's pitching to them that instead of going after Pooch, why don't they just use the veto and put Joseph on the block as well. They all kind of considered it. They all kind of want to get rid of Joseph as well. But I already knew they weren't going to do it because it would be an obvious shot. They first of all, Jasmine would be too scared to do it because it would show her cards. It would show that she's going after the strong guys right away. But as far as what Pooch volunteering to be on the block is not as obvious. They don't know that she's targeting them, and she's not going to get a vote, so it doesn't seem like she's the one making those decisions. But Pooch is definitely going to be going. Looks like it, but it could turn around. It could. They could send Taylor home and keep Pooch around just to make him feel comfortable. But it looks like he's going to be going. Right. So they go to see who's going to use the veto. I'm going to skip a lot of these conversations. And of course, Michael does not use the veto. He keeps the noms the same, and Pooch and Taylor are still on the block. All right, so we're going to see next time what happens with that, who's going to be going home. But it looks like there's going to be an extra twist coming up. So we're going to see if if Pooch or Taylor get another chance to save themselves. So, till next time.